All right, so I have something very cool for you today, and that's about what is actually transforming right now. It's very cool. It is the acceleration of the consciousness, the higher consciousness choices that we're making. I want to share with you what actually happens that's going to affect so many people in a way that you probably didn't expect. And I'm going to talk about the lower frequencies imploding on themselves and how that all works. It's not nasty, it's not negative, it's all just choice. I know some of you don't like that, but it is choice. You're powerful. You have choice in everything. There's nothing outside of you. Oh, we need to talk about that. Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. Are you ready for that? You can live it right now. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel because I'm going to share with you, as we go on this journey together, all the wonderful things that are happening. I'm seeing them. Now, you might have remembered me talking about a friend. I told a story, and this is happening just everywhere. This is very exciting. A friend of mine was very uncomfortable when I was talking to a man in a wheelchair as we were coming back from the market downtown St. Petersburg, and he wanted something from me, and I stopped and I said, what is it you want? And he said, something to eat. And I said, fine. I said, what do you want? And he said, well, there's a deli down there. Of course, he picks the most expensive deli. And I went to it, and he wanted this big old roast beef sandwich or whatever it was. Really cool deli. It was beautiful. 20 bucks. And so, not that that matters. And I got him water, and I got a side of something for him. Now, when I was talking to this man, my friend was very uncomfortable, and he continued to walk. He didn't want anything to do with it. And so I went and got the sandwich, and while I was doing this, I said, hey, listen, just wait, I'll go get his sandwich. And my friend went to the end of the block and stood there. He would not speak to this man. He was very uncomfortable. And I came back, and I gave this guy the sandwich. I said, hey, I put the horseradish on the side because I didn't know if you wanted horseradish, and I called him sir. I continued to address him with total respect because he's another human being, not a homeless person. I don't even know if he's homeless. I don't know what the situation was. I didn't need to know. But what I did notice was how uncomfortable my friend was with this person, because I know that he was thinking that this person was less than us. I want to share something with you, and this is what's happening right now. We're going to brunch tomorrow, and we have to put it off to 2 o'clock because my friend is down working in the food banks. He's volunteering. He didn't tell me this. He didn't want credit for it. But the reason he couldn't meet me earlier for brunch is because he's working the food banks. Isn't that interesting? My other friend is now working in the shelters for animals. Now that one doesn't surprise me. But why did my one friend choose the food banks after he was so uncomfortable with me feeding this gentleman? I'll tell you what's happening. It's the same thing that I discussed in my last video about that negativity implodes on itself. That's all it can do. It is negativity. It doesn't see the light in others. It is pure ego wanting what it wants, wanting other people to do what it wants. And so it just implodes on itself because it doesn't see anything else beyond that. So whatever that person chooses actually is happening to them, not the other person. The other person has their choice of what they're going to do and think and whatever. And so this implodes on itself because negativity creates negativity, and the events and the things that happen from those thoughts and those choices. Now, when we make higher choices, here's what's happening. You're going to love this. When we make higher choices, as we present this to other people, the consciousness continually expands in the higher frequencies, because the more people we expose to that, the more others have a choice to make that could be higher, okay? They're not going to go lower. People don't go lower. They might get depressed or anxiety or whatever. people will automatically go to higher frequencies, or they just stay where they are pretty much, right? It's not that simple. But the more people that get exposed to a higher consciousness, like my friend, the more that they realize that that felt good. There was something about that they got exposed to. Now, here's the good part about that. You see how my friend is now working at a food bank? The higher consciousness is eventually dissolving the struggles out there. The more people that choose higher consciousness, the more we go into unity and community and assisting one another, and there will be no homelessness. There will be nobody starving. There won't be any people that are struggling with certain things that they have no access to, because there will be a community that will always supply that. So the more of us who expose the others to those higher choices, allow them to now make a higher choice, and then all of these other people out there in need that are our opportunity. That man in that wheelchair that I fed, that was my opportunity at that moment to do something higher, right? To make a higher choice, to give. It affected my friend, who now is at a food bank working, who now is affecting everybody else. And there are a lot of those people who get on their feet and come back and deliver services to others. This is what's happening right now. And it is increasing and accelerating. Do you see how this works? So we are what we think. So if you are criticizing, you should do this, and you're still in here, and you are limiting yourself, and you are not allowing the expansion into the quantum field to bring you all kinds of opportunities, because you're so set in your ways of how things should be, and you're going to criticize other people and judge, all right? That's okay if you want to stay there, but you're living in what you create. When you step out of that and you stop dictating to other people how they should think or feel or vote or whatever it is, then you go into a space of unlimited probabilities. And when you do that, you receive that. All right, so when you step away from all of these rules that you have in your head, or how things should be, or that you think there's something separate from you that's going to save you, and you recognize and take the responsibility for where you are and the choices you've made and the choices you can make, you go into an expansive space and you learn. Then you go into a higher dimension and your whole reality shifts. Somebody said that they felt that we had just shifted into something else. I said, we're always shifting. Every choice shifts you in something higher. If you make a higher choice, that expands to other people that will make different choices. It's a snowball effect, and it's accelerating. And so that's why we're going into a golden era, because we will end struggle and suffering, because community doesn't allow that to happen. There will always be people that are giving. If they're on a higher frequency, we will always make sure people are taken care of. We're not judging it, putting them below us, separating ourselves. We will go into compassion like my friend chose. I'm so proud of him. So proud of him. I can't wait to see him at brunch to tell him that I'm really so grateful for what he did. And like I said, he's not doing it for attention or to brag to people about what he's doing. He didn't tell anybody. So we want to come from that place, because the ego says, look what I'm doing, I'm helping people. No, that's great. You can share that information, but don't do it for the reason that you want to get accolades for it, because that's still ego, lest you go into a lower frequency. So make sure when you do this, ask yourself where that's coming from. We're accelerating into the golden era. It is happening, my friend. And we have talked about the events and the shifts and that. We're in it. We're in it. It's happening. I feel it. And when my friends are telling me, instead of some of the things that we used to go off and do for ourselves, now they're giving. They're giving their time. They're giving their money. It's amazing. Are you feeling this? Or are you still arguing about who's going to go in the White House that's going to affect the world? We affect the world. No one tells us what to do. And no matter what your situation, you still have a choice within that situation. We always do, and we learn from it. And if you don't see it as an opportunity to evolve, and the biggest challenges are the ones that are going to test you the most. Those are the ones where, as Christ on the cross said, forgive them, they know not what they do. They're unconscious. We have to forgive them. They don't even know what they're doing, but we do now, don't we? That's all changed. We are learning, and we do know the difference. So we can't claim stupidity. We know how powerful we are. And now we're going to focus on, and if you want to join me, this is going to be amazing. We're going to focus on using those unbelievable abilities that we hold right now to start affecting events and changes and positive things, and you will experience personally great joy, abundance, peace. Things are going to come to you that you never imagined possible, not because you need it or want it and you're praying for it, I'm meditating it. That's the old spirituality. I want something, my vision board. Nothing wrong with vision boards. But if you don't believe it, don't bother. You don't need vision boards. You just have to know it is done. Know it is done, and don't expect it to save you. Okay? I know it is done, but I don't need that to be whole. I already am whole. You're already perfect. Now, I am creating Planet Conscious businesses. Are you an entrepreneur? And you would love to have an online business, because online businesses give you freedom, right? You're not stuck someplace. It doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, what your experience is. We take it from scratch, we find out what you love, and we create a business around it. We monetize it. So you hear people like, go after your passion. Boy, we're not starving artists here. In fact, our artists, our main artist, she's launched and she's got her business up and running, just got a really nice commission that she's fulfilling. So guess what? You know what? We are here to earn money, but everything we do is going to benefit someone else and ourselves too. We're going to feel real good about what we're doing. It's like going to the food bank. You know that you're doing something great and other people benefiting. Well, we're doing that with business instead of going into jobs we hate that are destroying the planet. So start making higher choices. Now, I told you guys I was going to start showing you at the end of each of my videos new products and services that I'm using. I showed you in my last video how I turn bar soap, bar shampoo into a liquid. I soak it in a container, and when it gets soft, I blend it with water, and then I pour it in a container that I use over and over and over again. And it goes forever. It lasts me forever, and my hair is just wow. It's clean. It doesn't have a bunch of chemicals or toxins on it. You can do the same thing. It is not a big effort, and eventually we will have these things out there without plastic. But in the meantime, you're going to have to do a few things. You're going to have to jimmy a few things around. I'll introduce more and more of these things. If you haven't gotten my book, I hope you do. People are loving it. It's changing their lives. And it talks about what's going on right now. It tells you to be ready for something really amazing and expansive. That's where we are. And if you're not feeling it, why not? It exists right now. All things exist right now. Past, present, future. It's all one thing happening. You just get to shift into it. You're tuning into it. You're getting on the elevator up to the penthouse. We're all still human beings. You are going to have your opinion. That's okay. But when you expect others to adhere to your own rules, then we're in separation. Allow us all choice. It's okay, because it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. If we blew up tomorrow, it wouldn't matter. The only thing that matters are the choices made within those circumstances. And there's only one you need to concern yourself about. You, right? This. What is my response to anything? It's not about the event. It's not about who gets elected. It's not where. I mean, Liz, seriously, I'm so tired of it. You should do this. You should. No, you should focus on this, because this is what came here to learn. This is what came here to share that frequency and that learning and that experience and that adventure with others. That's what you're here for. Are you doing your job? If not, well, you can wait. You can come back. Probably won't be that pleasant. I suggest you get it done now. This is the game. It's the illusion. It doesn't feel real good, but that's part of the game. And evil, I don't think there's separation in evil. Evil's just another experience. Are you ready for this? So if you want to be a digital explorer, this is a free webinar. You'll learn about it. You get free videos that talks about what we're doing. And as I shared with you, the Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest report that came out for 2024, what people want. And it never mentioned money or more stuff. It said sustainability, authenticity, trust, and personal identity. People want to be heard. They want to be themselves. They don't want to adhere to society's rules and criticisms. And so we're expanding into that space where we're going to celebrate the diversity of one another and be the demonstration of peace and love, compassion. Can you do that? Of course you can, but it's your choice. I welcome you and invite you to a new world that's happening right now. It doesn't mean the other stuff's going to go away. There will be people that continually scrape and claw to hang on to the material world, which is impossible because it's always transforming into something else. But if you want to live in a space of joy and peace, it exists right here for you. It's not some place you have to get to. It's right here. You just have to welcome it. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you another product that I have at the end of this video. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste. I just want to briefly tell you about how I became physically ill and actually threw up one morning after having coffee in a really high-end coffee maker. When I tore it apart, when I looked it up online why I would have that kind of reaction, it suggested some kind of horrible bacteria that was temporary but caused the effects of me throwing up. I tore the whole thing apart and realized not only was I being exposed to heated up plastic every time that went through that main compartment, but there was bacteria building up, and even though I cleaned it out, it was brand new. I couldn't avoid it. That's when I decided to go ceramic, because eventually those coffee makers, they stop working, and hundreds of coffee makers are being tossed out into dumps. I bought this ceramic coffee maker, and also what I do is I pour it into this beautiful Kasori glass container, and it filters my coffee through. And it's actually a nice little ritual I have. It only takes a few minutes every morning. I boil the water, and I pour it in the Kasori container. You can do tea or anything you desire. You can find links down in the description, and I have this listed also. You can check out all the things that I'm using that are healthier, cleaner, that are not going to end up in a dump somewhere, and that you will eventually save a lot of money long term doing so. Enjoy.